Good morning, guys. It's Saturday, it's 9 a.m. and it's time for your full body session with your Fit by 15 60-day challenge. So anybody can take part in this, any age, any ability, and it's free. It's on YouTube. So all you got to do is log in, check us out on YouTube, and if possible, subscribe, and then you get notifications if videos are coming up in future. So in the meantime, guys, I'm just going to mute myself because I can't stand listening to myself. I've got an 8-second delay here. So all you need today is your chair and your kettlebell. That's it. Some floor space, a chair, and kettlebell. And I guarantee we're going to get a full body workout because we're going to be working and focusing on the posterior chain. So good morning. Who's coming in there? Marie, how are we? So we'll just give it a couple more seconds. A few more people can come online, and then we'll get going into our workout. So on my setup here, I have the screen up on the back wall. Good morning, Roisin. And I'm getting distracted by looking at myself running around. I don't want to see that. Not many people do this time of the morning. You just woken up. But again, you might be doing this on record. That's fine. Okay, guys, so let's get going. So we'll start into some lunges just to get ourselves warmed up. Feet hip width, big stride forward, drop the knee to the floor, squeeze the abs, push through the whole sole of that front foot, and come back up tall again. So again, this is the warm-up. So we're bringing ourselves, think about we're bringing ourselves up to the boil as opposed to just jumping straight in. So take your time, take your time. So there's going to be a heavy emphasis today on the posterior chain. So that's the back of the body, essentially from the back of the heel all the way up to the base of the neck. So they're the muscles on the back of the body called the posterior chain, and they are the ones that do predominantly the heaviest of the lifts. So we'll be really focusing on that from the hinge perspective today. Okay, so now we're going to go into squats, feet shoulder width, toes turned out, push the hips back and down, drive the knees out with your elbows, and then raise the hips nice and high while the fingers are under the toes, and then back down nice and low. So again, if you have any questions about anything in relation to these sessions, or fitness in general, feel free to throw it up on the screen there. I've got it behind my camera, so I can actually see if there's a comment that comes in, and I will answer it to the best of my ability. So keep those knees pushing those elbows out. 3 seconds high on the hips, and then 3 seconds low, really emphasizing the stretch on the hamstrings and the glutes. And you can shift the weight to the left and the right just to exaggerate one side more than the other. So you're going to really stretch that area out today. Okay, so we're now going to walk out into the high plank position. 2 hands, 2 feet, hands are beneath the shoulders. Let's bring that right foot forward, plant it beside the right hand. And then it's a big arm rotation, twist as much as you can through the spine, and then back and change. We're just trying to mobilize that spine as much as we can and differentiate between upper and lower in the moving pattern. The upper and lower should be able to move pretty much independently of each other. And the T-spine, that's the thoracic spine. Basically your shoulder blades, in between your shoulder blades, that's the T-spine. We're trying to rotate and mobilize that part as much as possible. So again, taking your time, really exaggerate that twist. If necessary, I'm going to push myself around a little bit further with my hand on the outside of my leg. Just trying to rotate that as much as I can. And then I'm keeping that knee pushed out to the side. So we'll be working for 50 seconds on, 10 seconds off today. Okay, onto your backs now. So we're going to go into bridging. Driving through the heels, push those hips as high as we can. So like I was saying there, we're just going to go 50 seconds worth of work, 10 seconds worth of rest, and it's going to be continuous for 16 minutes. You get that extra minute for free. And let's go with one leg in the air now. So the one constant that we're going to be coming back to is called a triple touch. And what it basically means is we're going to do a deadlift, followed by a clean, followed by a snatch. So it's going to be bell starts on the floor. You do a deadlift with one hand, or 2, you can use 2. And then the next one you go into, you put it back on the floor and then come up into a clean. That's where the bell comes up to the chest. And then we go back down to the floor and then we come up into a snatch. So it's deadlift, clean, snatch, deadlift, clean, snatch, deadlift, clean, snatch, continuously for 50 seconds. And then we move off into an exercise. Okay, up we come. And then we come back to that triple touch. So every time, okay, back into our lunges. So every time we finish an exercise this morning, we go back to our triple touch, and then we go back out to a new exercise, come back to the triple touch, back out to another exercise, back to the triple touch. So like I was saying at the start of the warm up there, we're really going to be focusing on the posterior and get that guy working to burn as many calories as possible, ramp the metabolic rate as high as possible, and get you the best return as possible in the workout window. Okay, so have your water nearby because you're going to have 10-second windows. You're going to be very adept at drinking water in 10 seconds, small sips, and then we'll get going. So grab your kettlebell. If you have any questions in the meantime, throw them up on the screen. So like I was saying, we're going to be starting with our deadlift in 10 seconds. So grab your bell, feet hip width. We're going to do a deadlift. Bell starts on the floor. 4, you're hinged, shoulders back, chest out. 2, 1. And up we come from the deadlift. Down, tip the floor. Up you come to the clean. Down, tip the floor. Up you come to the snatch. Down, and we're back to the deadlift. Down, and it's the clean. Down, and it's the snatch. There is no difference on how those hips move in those 3 exercises. The only difference is the energy is steered by the arms in a slightly different direction. So we are hinging continuously at the hips for all 3 exercises. So in 13 seconds, you get your 10-second breather, and then we're going to go into a burpee to step up on the chair. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Bell down. We're going to do a burpee in front of the chair, followed by a step up, and then back down into our burpee. In 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Chest on floor with every burpee. And as soon as you finish that burpee, you're back up on the chair. Step, step, down, down, and then it's a burpee. So we're just getting that heart rate high. We're keeping it high. And then we're going to go back into our triple touch. But first, we got 25 more seconds. Now you're working at your tempo. So you just keep going. The whole idea behind this one is to get the heart rate up, but also to keep the emphasis on the posterior chain. Because when we do our step up, hamstrings and glutes are the predominant driver to get you up on that chair. 3, 2, 1. Rest 10. Back to triple touch. No one said this one was going to be easy. Deadlift to start. And let's go. Deadlift, clean, and then snatch. And then you can go one hand, you can go 2. It's up to you, as long as we keep working for the duration of the 50 seconds. Woo. So we're going to stay with the bell on the next exercise. It's going to be a push press into a rear lunge. So you're going to do a push press, that's an overhead press, with the help of the hips. And then when the bell is above the head, you go into a rear lunge. So right hand dictates, right knee goes to floor on the lunge. 6 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Rest. Bell on the right shoulder. Little bit of a hinge to help punch it above the head. And then let's go. Rear lunge. Stand tall, bring it back to the shoulder. Hip drive, rear lunge on that side. Hip drive, rear lunge on that side. Take your time, squeeze the abs. Make sure you're using the whole sole of that front foot in the lunge. Make sure you're maintaining the gap on the feet and the knees when you're doing your lunge. So in 17 seconds, we're into our 10-second breather, and then we are back, and we're into our triple touch. 7 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest 10. Triple touch coming up. 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Deadlift. Clean. Snatch. And remember, 3 focal points of this. Shoulders back, chest out. soles of the feet driving through the floor uniformly. And you steer with those arms. You're never pulling with the arm. You are merely steering the energy into the bell and where you want the bell to go. And that energy is generated by that perfect posture and movement on your hips. You've got to keep the abs tight. Think slingshot. You can't have a loose band on a slingshot. It's got to be tight at all times to fire that projectile. Same thing here. 5 seconds, and then we're going to go into knee to elbow. So we're on our back and rest. Keep your bell, get onto your back, legs out straight, bell above the chest. One hand or two, trying to touch the bell with our two knees. Let's go. So we straighten out the legs in between the reps, draw the knees in and up, tip the bell, down, extend the legs, tip the floor with the heels. So I'm keeping that bell rigidly above my chest on the right hand side. If you want to use two hands, that's fine, but we are controlling the descent on the legs. We are controlling the bell above the chest, and we are making sure that we're isolating those abs. So because it's in my right hand, I'm twisting slightly to my right to get both knees to hit that bell. That's just that little bit of an oblique twist. 10 seconds to go, and then we're back up to our triple touch. 3, 2, 1, rest. Up, back to our triple touch. Oh, we are having fun on a Saturday morning. Triple touch in 3, starting with deadlift. 2, 1, let's go. Deadlift it, clean it, snatch it. And again, if I was to take that bell out of the way and look at your hips as you worked, and your posture as you worked, there will be no difference in the 3 lifts, in the way your hips move and your posture maintains rigidity. That's a word. Rigidity. And again, abs tight and a big aggressive exhale as you drive that floor away through the soles of the feet whilst maintaining a squeeze on the shoulder blades. Imagine you're holding a tennis ball there. 8 seconds. Next one we're going to go to is a Frogger. And rest, bell on the floor. 2 hands either side of the bell. You're doing a high plank over the bell. You're going to jump your feet in. Sumo deadlift, high pull. So hands down, high plank, jump your feet in. You're now sitting in a sumo position. Drive the floor away. Bell comes to chin. Back down, hands, feet out, feet into a Frogger position, and back up into the chin. So our feet go as wide as possible. You're sitting as low as possible, and then you drive the floor away like a coiled spring. You don't need a bell to do this. If it's tough enough, just go without the bell and work through the full movement pattern. 15 seconds to go. And this is the last of the exercises. We're going back to our triple touch, and then we're back up to the top again to go through it one more time. And rest. So we're back to our triple touch, and then it's burpee step up. 5 seconds, we got our deadlift. 3, 2, 1, deadlift it, clean it, snatch it. And we are always focusing on that perfect posture. If you lose the posture on the shoulder blades, you lose the whole structure. Shoulder blades are like the latch on the gate. If you let the latch open, everything falls apart. 25 seconds, getting warm now. Just keep moving. 15 seconds to go, and then we're back to the burpee step up. No bell required. And you're working at your pace, which suits you and taxes you to the best of your ability. It's all about you. And rest. Breathe, because those 10 seconds are going to disappear very quickly. They disappear in about 10 seconds. 3 seconds, 2, burpee step up. Let's go. Hands down, chest down, feet in, and step up. Hands down, chest down, feet in, and step up. And we just keep going. So think of these burpee step-ups as the spike in the heart rate on the screen. If you're to look at your heart rate, we want to get that spike as high as we can because it takes a while for it to come back down the other side. We're only doing everything twice, so you will not be doing any more burpee step-ups after this. Stay with me. You're well over the halfway mark. Woo. 5 seconds, 4, 3, time for one more, 2, 1, rest. Back to deadlift, clean, snatch. 5 seconds, 3, breathe, let's go. Posture. Posture is key to everything. Posture, brace those abs. Squeeze the shoulder blades back. Drive through the whole sole of the foot. Nice work, guys. It's all about driving as much energy into the ground as possible and then refusing to let go of that bell as you stand up tall. And that bell then travels, capitalizing on that energy, going in the opposite direction. Every action has an equal and opposite sandwich. Wait, no, reaction. 8 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Push, press to rear lunge. Use your hips, not your knees. 5 seconds away. Bell on the left shoulder to start. If you're staying with me, let's go. Hip drive, rear lunge on that side. And use your breathing as a metronome for the movement. Inhale as you push your hips back. Sharp exhale as you snap them back into position and that bell pops up. Halfway, 25 to go. Woo! Good session today, guys. Stay with me. 12 seconds. Set your day up right. 5 seconds. 2, 1, rest. Back to deadlift, clean and snatch. You were almost there, guys. We got 2 more exercises to get through. Whew. And let's go. Deadlift. Clean. Snatch. And again, as you get tired, that's where the scaling comes into play. Do you need to reduce or remove the weight? Do you need to introduce support structure, i.e. hand on knee? Do you need to remove the weight entirely and start playing around with the range of movement, i.e. don't go all the way to the floor? It's all about taxing the hamstrings, the butt, the back muscles, up into the upper back, shoulders, and the abs. 10 seconds. Remember, a deadlift is not a squat. 3, 2, 1, rest on the floor. Bell above the chest. We're going into knee to elbow. Knee to bell. Legs straight. Let's go. Whew. Going well, guys. After this, we're going into our deadlift, followed by our last exercise in the circuit, which is your Frogger to sumo deadlift high pull. So the Frogger gets you into the right posture and position for your sumo deadlift high pull. So the sumo deadlift energy is generated by driving through the soles of the feet, knees out into a big V, toes out into that same big V, squeezing the abs, and then your arm just has to steer that bell to the chin. It doesn't have to pull it. The name is misleading. Should be sumo deadlift high steer. 3, 2, 1, bell down. Up we get, deadlift to start, then a clean, then a snatch. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Deadlift it, clean it, and snatch it. And you are now in the last set of deadlift, clean, snatch. Woo! After this, we got our froggers to sumo deadlift high pull, and then it's high fives all around. Oh, time for Rice Krispies. But not really, because we don't eat Rice Krispies. Oh. We get our protein, we get our fats, we got our carbs in. 18 seconds. And if you're going to do a session after this to complement, I would suggest doing some cardio, steady state like a run or a cycle or a swim or a long walk, because we did our core yesterday. And rest. Sorry, we got our core yesterday indirectly. Okay, we got our frogger to sumo deadlift high pull. Hands either side of the bell. Back to a high plank. Feet wide, ass down. Driving the floor away, bell steers to the chin. Keep that posture. Keep the abs tight. Keep the hips low to start. Think of it like you're coiling a spring. You are inside the last 32 seconds. Stay with me. Yes, it's tough. Yes, we all think about quitting. Stay with it. You've always got an extra few reps and seconds in you before you stop. 20 seconds to go. You are not going to die inside 20 seconds. Trust me on this one. 10 seconds. Woo. Posture, shoulders back, keep that latch closed. 3, 2, 1, done. Woo. There's a high heart rate. Nice work, guys. Okay, if you got it, drink it. Let the heart rate come down a little bit. In through nose, out through mouth. Whew. All right. So if you want to get an in-depth cool down, you know where to find it on our playlists and our channel. And if it's on the email that you got, go for it. Otherwise, we're going to go to a passive hang. Feet nice and wide. Soft knees. Stick your butt out. Drop the backs of the hands to the floor. Control the breathing. In through nose, out through mouth. Whew. That was a high heart rate one. So if you were starting to feel that creeping in on the lower back towards the end of the session, that means the core, the abs were getting tired. And as a result, your posture was starting to fail, i.e. you were rounding between your shoulder blades, or you were popping your hips up a bit too early or too high, and the focus of the pressure was on the lower back. So if you start to feel it on the lower back a little bit, use that as a cue to more aggressively squeeze your abs, more aggressively pop your chest out, and visualize that latch on your shoulder blades, keeping them closed together. Okay, so from here, you're into a lunge. Drop your knee onto the floor. 2 hands on top of the knee. Tip the knee forward. Marie, I cannot believe I pay for this torture. What do I say to that, Marie? Thank you. Do you want a receipt? Good work. Again, so big breath in through the nose, exhale out the mouth, relax through the shoulder blades, let the body become as heavy as possible, and then it sinks into the stretch. You don't push into a stretch, you sink passively into the stretch and let your body essentially just kind of drape your body into that stretch. And then we're looking for a nice stretch across the hip flexor, as top of the thigh, up across the belt line into the lower abs. And then we also use the stretch to get the heart rate down, breathing in through nose, out through mouth calmly. It's going to take a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes. Okay, switch sides. Let's put lefty in front, 2 hands on top, and just tip the knee forward. Relax through the shoulder blades, and let that stretch just come on the top of the thigh, across the belt line into the lower abs. So if you were doing this live with me, guys, you have just set yourself up properly for the day. Well done. Go have some breakfast after this. Use the endorphins for good, not evil. Enjoy your day. Get your complimentary session in if you can. And really hit the weekend on a positive note. If you're doing this on record, likewise, except have a relevant meal of day after workout. Whether it's lunch, dinner, or your snack or your protein hit. So take what you can out of the session. Feel good. Use the endorphins. Visualize where you're going to be in 3, 4, 5 weeks' time. Put a pin in it. And always striving to get there. Thanks, Ronan. Adrian. You're very welcome, Adrian. What emoji have we got today? A mermaid or a merman. Very nice on my screen. Okay, guys, have a great day, and I will see you, what day is it? Saturday, so I will see you tomorrow, Sunday, yes. We will, yeah, every day. Have a good one, guys. That was fabulous and painful. Fabulous and painful? Fabulo? Is that a word? We can make a word. Fabuful? See you guys. Have a great day.